24 to 36 hours. I'll have the very latest on our next snow chance coming up right now at 6.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Good Monday evening to you. I'm Dakota Makris. Thanks for joining us. We have been watching the winter storm as it made its way through the mountains yesterday, and we have kept an eye on conditions all day. We will get to our team coverage from around the mountains shortly, but first, we continue our severe weather alert day coverage. We head on over to meteorologist Evan Hatter. Evan, what can we expect heading into the overnight hours?
Well, the good news, Dakota, is that all of our winter weather watches and warnings have been allowed to expire. No advisories, no warnings in place, and no more snow really expected to fall as we head through the nighttime hours. But what's on the ground will stay there for a while as we continue to see bitterly cold temperatures down near 20 overnight. Out front of our studios here on Blangold Boulevard in Hazard, our parking lot actually looking in a relatively okay shape. Some good work from our folks there getting the sidewalks and the parking lot there scraped off, but you can still see some of that snow on the grassy surfaces as you go across the street. Wet roads right now into portions of Letcher County. In fact, right into downtown Whitesburg. Not a whole lot of activity, folks staying inside this evening, but still a few slicker spots there on the roadway. They're sitting at 26 thanks to the west winds at 10. It feels like 16 in downtown Whitesburg right now. We stay in the mid to upper 20s around the region, a couple of 30-degree readings, but for the most part, we're going to be staying in the 20s. What's left of our snow showers pushing on out of the mountains, but we'll still see those cold temperatures tonight, upper teens, low 20s around the area under mostly cloudy skies. We do have another chance for more rain, or rain and snow, really, as we head into the midweek coming up, and I'll have the details in just a few minutes. Dakota?
All right, Evan, thank you. Like many counties in our region, Harlan County was hit with a mix of rain, snow, sleet, and ice yesterday, later being covered by heavy snow. WYMT's Jade Saylor has more from county officials about road conditions in the region.
Harlan County saw a mixture of weather conditions before being blanketed in a wet snow around 8 p.m. Sunday.
We started at 6 a.m. this morning on county roads. But a lot of the roads that were treated earlier snowed back over with the swath of snow that came in from the northwest this morning about 7.
The snowfall has caused only a few car accidents and power outages.
We've had a couple of minor accidents, but nothing significant. There have been a couple of power outages. But when you have a heavy wet snow, you always worry about a lot of those, and we haven't seen that with this one.
State and county road crews are making progress on main roads.
The main roads are looking a lot better. 421 and 119 are in pretty good condition now. The state's done a wonderful job on those.
But secondary roads are not as clear or safe to drive on yet.
We have a lot of secondary roads in Harlan County. Yeah, we have 1,500 county roads, a lot of state secondary roads. So they're working them. With temperatures like this and the fact that it's still snowing here as of about 1 o'clock. It's, just a challenge to continue to try to treat those.
The ice and rain that came before the snow is making it more difficult to clear roads quickly.
With all that rain and sleet and stuff that we had yesterday, the roads were wet, so it formed a layer of ice. So you hear that crunching when you're driving. That takes extra time and extra attention to treat that, so they're having to go over these things repeatedly.
Judge Executive Dan Mosley asks that people be patient, but know they are working on getting the roads in good condition. In Harlan County, Jade Saylor, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials believe conditions will be a lot better by Tuesday afternoon, but warn caution when traveling, especially in the morning. Roads in Lee County have been improving slowly throughout the day, but power outages could be affecting the area until tomorrow night. That's why the Lee County government has opened a warming station at the Happy Top Community Center. Folks in the area who are in need can call 911 to be picked up and brought to the center. You're asked to bring snacks and bedding if you intend to stay the night.
But if your road is covered with snow right now, we'll get to you as quickly as we can if it's a county road. The state roads, the state's doing their job as quickly as they can. And so I anticipate that the roads will be open no later than tomorrow.
Now, Bettyville Water in Lee County is also experiencing a water outage due to an issue with the main pump. Now, they advise their customers to be very conservative with their water and only use it if necessary. Well, meanwhile, in neighboring Breathitt County, people woke up to a calmer situation than much of the region. WYMT's Chaz Jenkins reports.
A slow afternoon in the mountains as road crews saw some action early on.
We did have a few fallen trees in Breathitt County. Again, not nearly as many as we did in some of the other counties to the north and the west of Breathitt because it didn't have as much snow and the snow was a heavy, wet snow.
Hoping the weather stays calm so crews can continue salting the roadways.
It loses its effectiveness below about 15 to 20 degrees. So if it'll stay in the 20s today, the salt will have a chance to work.
Meteorologists with the National Weather Service in Jackson say this type of weather will not become the norm.
In the summertime, you can have storms on one weekend and then storms on another weekend, and that just happened to be how the system's set up and how they played out. But is that something that's going to continue happening every winter? No, definitely not.
Those with the NWS confident in that opinion.
It's a complex time of year. It's a hard time for us to forecast because there's so many complexities, but it's just that it's going to be changing. The weather systems are always changing.
Asking everyone to stay home just in case things pick up.
There will be some places that drivers will encounter slick spots, especially on some of our lesser traveled routes. The main routes we expect to be in fairly decent shape.
Thankful the weather did not do more damage. In Breathitt County, Chaz Jenkins, WYMT Mountain News.
Elkins says his team appreciates everyone's patience as they continue to clear roads in the county. Well, up in Rowland County, slick roads and ice remain a concern for many. Some Morehead State students had to brave wintry conditions as they moved in for the spring semester. While main roads like I-64 have been mostly cleared, small local roads still remain slick, something many students and parents say has made this particular move an incredibly difficult one.
This is the worst move in.
I think this is the coldest and wettest.
Classes will be canceled tomorrow. Well, I have another day to get settled.
Alan Blair with District 9 of the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet says that with the sun peeking out tomorrow and temperatures expected to be in the 40s, he's hopeful anything that is left on the roads overnight will melt by Tuesday. From power outages to tough road conditions, it's been a mess in parts of southern Kentucky. Several thousands are still without power in parts of the area, including at least 2,000 in Laurel County. That's where our Phil Pendleton is live tonight. Phil, how are people dealing with the outages?
It is a very tough situation here in Laurel County, especially for those that are without electricity. Of course, earlier today we were told 3,000 alone in Laurel County without electricity from Jackson Energy. That number has been whittling down. Of course, the weather caused this. The weather is making it difficult to restore the power, making everyone's life just a little bit more miserable. Tim Swafford is trying to get his wife's Mustang out of that thick, wet, piled up snow, but that's just part of his problem.
Buddy, both vehicles, this one right here, it got stuck. I brought mine back and I had a blowout under the bridge.
2 cars, but he's not alone in his misery.
Well, so far the roads are pretty bad, but as long as you go slow, I think that's the important thing. I'm going out checking on a family.
Poole was one of 3,000 who lost power in Laurel County, but some said they were all making the most, if not the best of it.
I was just thinking about where the propane heaters were, so we got those up and going, so we're doing good.
But my mom, her electricity went out last night, so we had to get her a generator out there this morning because she's on oxygen. You know, we knew it'd be a day or two before they get the electric back on.
Enjoying a winter wonderland on the front porch for some.
I'm good. I'm good.
While others dig out.
This was a bad snow, though. The lake's right down there.
And Jackson Energy told me they had 11 crews designated for Laurel County alone. This was the hardest hit county in their area. Of course, we do know, we have heard from many of you that you're without electricity as far as Clay County, Estill County, Lee County, all over the area. The thick, wet snow causing all of these problems. Kentucky Utilities says they hope to have their customers in the Corbin area, especially right off of Interstate 75, exit 29, restored as of around 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon, so those lights should be back on. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, Phil, thank you so much. We appreciate you tonight. Well, today is supposed to be the start of Finger Lickin' Chicken Week in Corbin, but fallout from Sunday's snowstorm, well, it's causing problems. To protect workers and customers, most Corbin area restaurants are closed Monday evening, delaying the start of the week-long event. Citywide restaurants create signature chicken dishes that will only cost $6, but people looking to sample some of the best food, well, they'll just have to wait.
All of our restaurants, if not all of our restaurants, were closed today due to wanting to protect the safety of their employees and potential customers.
Well, officials hope the annual week-long tradition will begin in full on Tuesday, but that all depends on power being restored. While the roads have not been a major concern in Floyd County, with most of them clear by morning, the tree lines were another story as the heavy snowfall left many communities in the dark. Our Buddy Forbes has more about how crews have been working through the night to bring back the light.
While the winter weather is working its way out,
the RECCs, the AEP, our crews, the state crews, all the folks that keep the lights on and keep the traffic moving,
the work continues.
They don't realize the preparation that goes in to take care of as many homes as we possibly can, as quickly as we can.
As crews take on the elements to restore safety and security to people across the region.
In these conditions, the roads are terrible because of the heavy wet snow, trees down, and then they're having to negotiate with these roads and hills in eastern Kentucky.
Line workers like those from Big Sandy RECC worked to repair poles and restore electricity to hundreds of members following Sunday night's snowfall.
And it depends on the inches that we have, the amount of heavy wet snow that we have will give you how much damage that we have.
Saying this time, with only a couple of inches in most places, they were lucky.
We actually dodged a bullet.
Floyd County Judge Executive Robbie Williams says that was a blessing based on the recent hits the county has taken and the potential danger the heavy wet snow could have brought.
With 2 snowstorms on top of the flooding, it's been tough.
But as hundreds of people awaited restoration Monday afternoon, the crews kept digging.
They've really done a fantastic job against the adversity of the weather.
Saying as the hits keep coming,
we're weathering the storm.
They will keep climbing. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, officials say they hope to have full restoration any time now, saying they appreciate the patience and understanding of those who have been without. Well, Kentucky State Police announced a response team is investigating a trooper-involved shooting. Officials said the shooting happened late Saturday night in Whitley County while responding to a domestic call about a man who fired shots inside his home and refused to let his wife or children leave. Several officers with the Williamsburg Police Department and the Whitley County Sheriff's Office tried to negotiate with the suspect, which did not work. Police said the suspect aimed his gun at them before a trooper fired, which hit the man. The man was flown to UK Hospital, where officials say he is still in critical condition. West Virginia Governor Jim Justice has resumed his weekly briefings on the coronavirus 6 days after he tested positive for COVID-19. The 70-year-old Republican governor developed a headache and high fever and was diagnosed with the coronavirus on January 11th, forcing him to call off his State of the State speech to the legislature the next day. Now, Justice is fully vaccinated and received a monoclonal antibody treatment as recommended by his doctor. He says the illness was really nasty stuff through the first couple of days.
And it's not one, but 2 systems to be on the lookout for as we head through the work week. We'll have all those details straight ahead.
And the Ali Center in Louisville hosted a blood drive this Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a nationwide blood shortage continues to impact many communities. That's next.
WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking stories as they happen. Customized